Hey everyone, welcome back to Bacolod. If you caught our last few videos here in the city, you'll know that we have been enjoying catching up with family, meeting up with friends, and enjoying some of the incredible food that Bacolod is so well known for.
Sadly, today's the day that we are leaving Bacolod because earlier this week my uncle invited us over to the family farm. So we are on the bus getting ready to get out of here so that we can see what Filipino farm life is like. Our journey to the family farm was straightforward but nowhere near the usual tourist route. Located about 100 kilometers south of my hometown of Bacolod is the barangay of Bacana, a small town of about 20,000 people and also home to many generations of one side of my family. Many of my cousins, aunts, and uncles continue to live in Bacana, some of whom I have never met. After getting off the bus, my uncle picked us up and we began making our way to the family farm. However, before getting too far, we first had to receive a welcome in the most Filipino way possible, by eating some grilled chicken and rice with our hands.
I told you.
I know, I'm learning the mixing.
No spoon and fork here.
No. It didn't even come with one. I couldn't use it if I wanted to. It's different than the chicken in a salad in Bacolod because this is more barbecue-y. It's like smokier.
Smoky.
Yeah, and the sauce, the marinade is different.
Yeah, that's why it's different.
Yeah.
Different style.
Okay, very different style marinade. Still incredible.
Ear of a, say pig?
Yep, it's a pig.
So it's more like this. It looks like a tongue. It's heavy, hey?
It's heavy. It's very like gelatinous, like gushy.
Fatty.
Okay, I don't think I'm gonna like this one. Oh, crunchy.
Right?
No, that's good because
Like-
it's crunchy.
Strangely crunchy.
I thought it was gonna be like, oh, I'm very fatty and marinated. Actually, quite like that. Huh. That was a good suggestion.
It's a good start,
Not bad,
eh?
not bad, yeah. Wow, I really didn't think I was gonna like that.
Are you gonna finish it?
No, Mico can finish it, but I do like it.
Once we felt the meat sweat start, we left dinner and continued on to Bacana in the dark. We got in late and didn't see much until the next day.
Good morning, you guys. So we are finally just waking up. We've had a nice slow morning and we're just like waking up and finally seeing the farm because when we arrived yesterday it was pitch black.
Yeah, we couldn't really see much of anything, but I was getting pretty excited because they said there's like fish farms all around us. And now that we're up, I got a chance to fly the drone a little bit and look around the area. It looks so beautiful, especially at this time in the morning. The light is just amazing, and it was really cool to see a little bit of the local life start stirring and waking up as well.
Yeah. It was so peaceful and quiet, and then we pulled the camera and someone next door turns the music on. I mean, it's good music at least, so that's nice. It's a good way to start your day.
It's like, yeah, that's the Philippines for you.
That is actually pretty true.
A little bit warm, huh?
It's so warm today. Yesterday
It's
was
nice.
Cool. Today is very, very warm.
We need to drink water.
So you think walking around a small rural Philippines town would be quiet and peaceful, but this walk was anything but that. Between the loud disco music and the numerous dogs, we were kept on our toes.
Wow.
My uncle also showed us some of the damage left over by Typhoon Odette in 2021.
Oh,
Sadly, some of the infrastructure had never recovered.
even the flood current came in here and destroyed this part.
After having some coffee and catching up with some old neighbors, we jumped on the tricycle to tour more of the town. It was interesting to drive down the main road, which in some places was unpaved. Most of the houses seemed to be built right along the road, allowing one to observe everyone's morning routines from one easy route. Along the road were also many convenience stores, small businesses, and even a large basketball court. All the essentials of a good Filipino town. The tricycle tour ended as we were finally ready to head to the family fish farm.
Alright guys, so we have gotten changed. They gave us some other shirts to put on. We've got an umbrella to protect ourselves from the sun because it is a very hot day. And we're actually headed out to like the main fish farm here that Mico's uncle, who was kind of taking us under his wing, operates and is growing fish out of. I'm super stoked. I feel like this is like one of those things that Mico has told me about for so many years and I've heard so much about, but of course I've never been able to be here. And now we're here.
So this is one of the fish farms my uncle has, and this is just one of the smaller ones, but he says this farm is in treatment. They've put some chemicals into the water so that it can kill off the predators for the fish that they're going to be putting in here later, and they're right now letting it kind of fertilize and grow the plankton so that the fish will also have food
for when they're farmed later as well, for when they're put in here later as well. So this is just a small pond, but we're gonna go to a bigger one next. But it's kind of cool to see the different stages of like a fish pond.
Walking through the fish ponds was harder than we expected. Maybe we were just used to the flat, boring wheat farms in Canada, but we should have known that it would not be that easy here in the Philippines.
Yeah, if it was wet, this would be very tough.
I might fall in the water, but you know.
It's very simple, huh?
Oh yeah.
You like that, huh?
Wow, you're a pro.
No, every day I use this one. Just walk straight. Don't rely too much to the reading, huh?
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Alright.
Didn't die.
Okay. Only in the Philippines.
The narrow strips of muddy land was a challenge, and the bamboo bridges definitely kept things exciting. Not to mention navigating these fields as a newbie would be disastrous.
I can't believe how many like trails there are here. There's so many like pathways you can go. There's just narrow strips of land between all these fish ponds and fish farms, and you could easily get lost. This is like probably the only person you can ask for directions.
How? Where do I go?
You know which way to go?
Hello. Cow on the fish farm, of course.
So this is a 2.6 hectare fish pond. It's just one of the fish ponds that my uncle owns, and he said this is his personal pond. So maybe just for him, the more industrial ponds are coming up.
My uncle explained that he had about 5 different farms in the area, of various shapes, sizes, and schedules. They all contain the exact same species of fish, which in Filipino is called bangus. In English, it is referred to as milkfish.
So Tito, which I'm not sure if I explained earlier, but Tito means uncle in Filipino. He was just saying that on his ponds he has these extra parts, almost like a circular net with a bucket in the middle. He says that's kind of his own innovation to make sure that the feeding of the fish is more optimal. Okay, so the fish come in, touch the rod, and then the food comes down, and then the fish can eat that food. And then these nets here will keep the food from getting spread out from all over the lake because of wind or whatever. So without this, normally people would just throw the feed all around the lake. Okay, so having this is actually really cool because it's just more concentrated.
Oh yeah.
It's like a
And you
yeah,
don't have to do it yourself. The fish do
and
it.
the fish do it all. Yeah.
And this one, the fish, anytime they want, they can eat.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah, they
right.
can eat. No need to give them an hour or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Just leave it there.
Wow. Here's the bucket that has the feed, and you can see the little pellets right there in the water. And then there's a little line here. It might be hard to see in the camera. There's a little line here with some hooks on it, and that's just as a deterrent for the birds because they know that once the fish are surrounding this little area of the feed. Well, there's some weird bubbles over there. Oh, they're coming. Yeah.
So these fish are only 17 days old, but they don't get harvested till 90 days. So they'll be way bigger, hey? And take up like way more of the pond.
Bangus or milkfish is a popular and highly prized fish species in the Philippines due to its toughness and sturdiness, making it ideal for aquaculture. More importantly, its delicate taste and fatty belly that goes well with the vinegar marinade makes this fish a hit with Filipinos everywhere.
It has been so cool to go around and have Tito explain more about like farming to us, fish farming, and like what it entails, and talk about all the different ways that he's like innovated different techniques to improve the efficiency of the farm. It's been really cool. It's so cool to see like his excitement, yeah, about like the work and what he's been able to do with it. And I think just like getting to know what like life is like out here as a fish farmer in rural Philippines, and of course getting to know more of Mico's family. Like this has just been such a special day, such a special morning, and also so beautiful. It is so beautiful here. It's so calm and peaceful and quiet. Obviously we're not working. This would be a very hard place to work too because the heat is intense, but it is a really peaceful place to just come and look around and yeah, see what all this is about. Like just check out such a different way of life than we're used to.
So we just learned that there are upwards of 80,000 fish in this fish pond here. It is crazy to think that there are that many fish. This little area right here behind me is where they store the feed. In there right now you can see little sacks of the feed, and that's where they just kind of keep this while they're growing the fish. But later on, when it comes to harvest, which is, I guess, from what I've heard and what I've seen on videos online, it is like such a crazy event where they collect all the fish in this pond all at once. But they actually put all the fish in here, and this looks where the storage lot or the feed lot is. Remove all the feed, they actually put ice in there, and then they put all the fish in there all at the same time. It's crazy. I wish we could come back here next time. Well, maybe we could come back here next time where they're doing the harvesting, because it's such an insane event, I've heard.
As a visitor, it is a very peaceful place.
It's my dreams to put just a little small island inside and put a rest house.
Oh.
Just my dreams. I hope.
Have cool drinks to get like a place to nap.
Oh yeah,
Halfway through the day. That would be so
Maybe
nice.
for you someday.
We could sleep there.
Yeah.
Then we can take foods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fish. We can
Monitor all the fish. Yeah. You know what's mind blowing to me is that this is something that's been in my family, and I really never knew about it.
It's so cool. So I think it's Mico's grandfather who like originally started the fish farming in the family. That's what we understand, and it's really grown into quite the family business since then. It has been so cool this morning to go around and not only see like what is rural Philippines farm life like, but for me too is just like see and understand more of like Mico's history, where he comes from, like what your roots are. I guess even for you too.
Yeah, like for me, like it's like all the first time. It's like having just grown up in Canada all my life. I've never experienced like
almost all your life.
This, almost all my life, right? I've just never experienced this, and I'm so glad we came to see it.
It's been so special.
We have left the farm and we are heading back to the house, and we've decided to take the route that goes through like the main part of the town. This is Bacana, that's the name of the barangay, name of the area. And he said there's about 20,000 people around here. So right now it's very busy because all the kids are going on their lunch break, so everyone's kind of going home for lunch, and then they'll be back to school at 1. So it makes for a very busy street, lots of kids in uniforms, which is very common here in the Philippines. You have a fan club following you, honey.
Oh, that's cool. We're in it's very rural here, so I can't say there's a lot of folks who look like me here. You know? But everyone looks like Mico, so no one cares that he's here.
So I think what's also really interesting about this town is the fact that I have a ton of family here, and like some are more like distant than others, but it's crazy to think that like, okay, my uncle's there, and then my aunt just lives across the street, and then like
Four more aunts and two more uncles.
Yeah, and then behind her house is like my grandfather's like sisters. Like
I've met a lot of family.
We have met a lot of family already, and I just don't know who I would bump into as I'm walking around.
Who you might be related to.
I'm not sure if they would recognize me, but we've definitely have bumped into a few people already.
Tito knows.
Tito's, he's taking us around and showing us everybody.
After some lunch and rest out of the sun, we once again hopped into the tricycle and drove to a nearby resort which the locals use to admire the unique landscape.
I love this view of the Philippines. I think in our travels here in the Philippines so far, it's been a lot of like beaches and beautiful islands and touristy spots. And to see the countryside like this, it just seems so like surreal.
Yeah.
It is so gorgeous.
It's only because you're from here that we really get this opportunity, I think.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't think this would be available to us normally as tourists. Like, it would be very difficult for us to organize to get out here and to be here. And we're pretty lucky.
It's a very unique of the Philippines, and one that I'm glad that we're able to see.
So to wrap up this long day, there was just one final thing to do on the Filipino farm task list, and that of course is karaoke. If you've been watching our Philippines series for a while now, you know that Nicole and I are no strangers to karaoke. This session, however, felt a little bit different. I don't know if it was the cheap local beers or the fact that the karaoke machine was essentially YouTube, but perhaps it was the people around us. Although Nicole and I acknowledge that we are out of our element working on a farm, we both agree that we know what quality family time feels like. And there was no shortage of it that night.
Alright, so today has been like super cool because I've loved getting to see like this very other side of Philippines life than we've seen so far on our time here in this country. But I really think the coolest part for me has been getting to know more about like where you're from and your culture. Like I just feel like I've learned so much about Mico today. It's been honestly such a privilege.
It's been awesome seeing rural farm life here in the Philippines, and we hope to explore more of the country yet. So if you like this video, make sure you give it a like. If you want to see more videos of us in the Philippines, make sure you hit subscribe.
Thanks for watching.
Like I want to fly the drone, but it's creating such a nice like fan right now. Oh!
Oh my god.
Okay, what I was saying is that the drone's like propellers are creating such a nice breeze. I don't want to let go of it quite yet.
Get it
so
done.
nice. It's so hot right now.
I want to see the nice photos.
Okay.
Bye, Droney.